Anyway, I'll try to speak loud enough so at the right volume so we don't blast out you people in the front row here and the people in the back can hear. Basically, I want to give you a little bit of background of how we came across the product, and in order to do that, I'll give you a little bit of my own background. I was introduced to the nutrition industry back in 1986. I was introduced to a process for creating supplements using what's called amino acid chelation. And the bottom line was, as part of that introduction, I started taking some supplements that had used a certain process in their preparation, and I felt a difference. And so I was very impressed with that. And so that started my own personal journey into nutrition and health. And boy, has it taken me some places over the years. By 1993, I was engaged full-time in the health and nutrition industry. I was fortunate in that I met about that time a really outstanding individual, an MD, a surgeon. And I'll tell you a little bit about his story very quickly. He was a surgeon. He was a bachelor. He was living a great lifestyle. He was going out to dinner every night, having steak and potatoes and that kind of thing. And as a result of his lifestyle, he had put on quite a bit of weight and, wasn't in the best of health. He was in his, 50s about the time. He went to his own personal physician who said, Bob, you're a prime candidate for heart disease. We've got to make some corrections here. And he wanted this doctor to get on about 3 prescriptions. Well, my friend, being a doctor, knew the side effects of those prescriptions. And he did not want to deal with that. So he told his doctor, he said, give me about 3 months. I'm going to look into maybe correcting my condition in some better ways. So he did. He started looking into eating better. He started looking into supplementation himself. And he started implementing some new lifestyle changes. And he went back 6 months later to his physician, and everything was back on track where it should be. He didn't have to do prescriptions. Now, I tell you that because I consider him one of my main mentors. He's the one who taught me how to research health and nutrition. He's the one who taught me how to see through the smoke and mirrors. When I started getting into health and nutrition, I discovered very quickly there's a lot of smoke and mirrors out there. There's a lot of misinformation. I look at the internet as one of the best and one of the worst things to happen to, nutrition and investigating it. You can find some very good information online. You can find some false information online. In fact, if you're looking for a certain response to something, you dig enough into the internet, you're going to find that response. So he taught me how to do that, taught me how to gain access to journals from accredited research institutes, Harvard School of Medicine, things like that. And so because of him, I learned how to research properly. I learned how to see through the smoke and mirrors. Well, so here we are, about 2007, 2008, and I had come across some interesting, obscure research about some plant extracts. A friend of mine who I'd known for about 15 years called me up. His name's Boyd, and he said, Dave, I found some interesting research. I'd like to get together with you to show it to you. I think it has potential that we could develop a product, and I know you know how to do that, so I'd like to get together with you. And I said, sure, Boyd. I said, I've also come across some research, so I'll share that with you too. So we sat down, and it was interesting. The research that we both found was they were completely compatible with each other. And we recognized that by combining those 2 researches and creating a product, we could have a product that could do some phenomenal things. Now, our original intention was to produce this product, and it was aimed at type 2 diabetics. It was designed to help type 2 diabetics get off their insulin. And so we put the product together. We rounded up a group of type 2 diabetics and started testing it in a clinic up in Utah, there where I live, and Boyd lives as well, diabetic clinic. And it was a 6-month test. As you heard Ronnie talk about how his blood sugar started to lower, that's what happened with this group of diabetics. And it happened fairly quickly, with some of them within 2 or 3 days, with others within a week, that their blood sugar started to lower. So we were really happy about that. We had found something that really works. Now, about week 3, week 4 into this study, these people came in once a week to the clinic, had all their vitals taken, weight taken, that type of thing. We noticed something. A lot of you may know this, but one of the key triggers for type 2 diabetes is excess weight. And all of our test subjects had excess weight on them. About week 3, week 4, we began to notice that they were starting to lose their excess weight. And so we were really pleased with that too. And as the test continued, they continued to lose their excess weight. So we knew we had a product that could not only help blood sugar, it could help people lose excess weight, and we started seeing other things improve too. High cholesterol started lowering, high blood pressure started lowering. This product seemed to be helping the overall lipid profile, is what we call it. And so we were very excited about that. We began looking for a way to market that. And Utah is kind of the mecca of network marketing companies. If any of you have been involved in any MLM companies over the years, chances are you've been involved with at least one company that comes out of Utah. And so we had some companies that were interested in this product we had developed. We had one in particular, a huge company. If I were to mention the name, most of you would recognize it if you've been in the industry at all. And they became very excited as we explained our product and what it could do. Well, their board of their new product development board was comprised of PhDs and all these, highfalutin people. And we gave them the explanation of the product, what it did. They said, hey, this sounds really good. We want to take this to the next step. Sign non-disclosures. We want you guys to give us the exact formula. Tell us which plant extracts you're using, that kind of thing. Well, the main owner of that company had a reputation of not always dealing fairly with people. And so I happened to know one of the minority owners of the company, and I set up a little meeting on the side and met with him and said, hey, your new product team is looking at our product. Tell me honestly, is your partner going to try to take it over? And he, being a man of integrity, said, yeah, Dave, he probably will. So we walked away from those guys. It's kind of funny because either on purpose or accidentally, about a week later, Boyd and I were copied on an internal email from the lady who led their product development team saying, Boyd and David have decided to walk away from the table. We're very disappointed, but we think they gave us enough information that we can probably duplicate what they've done. Mm-hmm. And with their staff of PhDs and all these highly educated people, they tried for 3 months and they couldn't do it. What we found is a very, very unique combination of ingredients that create what Plexus Slim is today. Well, after that encounter, we decided we wanted to find a smaller company, a company that could grow with us, a company that had integrity, a company that really cared about people. So I'll never forget, I was actually on vacation with my children, and we had asked Boyd's son, Matt, to go out and see if he could find a company for us. And Boyd called me up. He said, Matt found this little company out of Scottsdale, Arizona, and he said, I don't know if they're worth looking at or not. And I said, well, what do they do? He said, well, they're a women's breast health company. And I said, and they're multi-level? And he said, yes. I said, okay. But that did tell us one thing, that they did care about people. They did care about people. So I was on vacation. I said to Boyd, I said, you know what? Take off with Matt, go down there, meet with them, and then let me know what you think. So they did. And Boyd called back and he said, I want you to meet with them too, Dave. I think you're going to like them. And so we had a chance to meet with Tarl and Alfred, and I agreed. I thought I had good feelings about them. And so Tarl and Alfred said, well, sell us 30 bags of your product. We'll get it out to people. And the emphasis we were going with was the weight loss feature. And they said, we'll buy 30 bags from you. We'll get it out to some folks. If it does what you say it will do, we'll call you back. So they did. I think, Sheila, you got one of those first bags, didn't you? And they called us back about 3 weeks later and said, it's doing everything you said it would. We'll buy about 200 bags from you. Well, that was back in 2009. And now they're buying tens of thousands of bags from us a month of what you know is Plexus Slim. It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning, folks. I have to say, Plexus is a company with integrity. Now, Alfred and those guys care about you. They want to treat you fairly. They're not in this for themselves. They're in this for you. For Boyd and I, yes, we're enjoying the financial benefits of you folks going out there sharing the product, but you know what? What really warms our heart is not what's in the bank account. It's the stories, it's the testimonies that are coming back about how it's helping people raise their quality of life, raise the enjoyment they get out of life because they no longer have some of the illness that they've had. And so that's what this is really all about. Now, along the way, you're going to have some tremendous other benefits from this. In fact, as Sheila explains how the compensation program works, they've put together an incredible plan that is fair, and it works well for everyone. So you've got kind of the best of both worlds, folks. You've got a neat opportunity to create some financial stability for yourselves, but in the process of doing that, you're going to be really helping people. You can sleep at night. You can sleep at night knowing that what you're sharing with people is good and of value. And at the end of the day, that's what it's really all about. So I'm just so grateful that we, by chance, and some people say chance is a way of a higher power helping out. By chance, we came across Plexus. By chance, they were open-minded, willing to try our product, and then it came to you. One of the biggest benefits that I count in my life is as a result of this, I have now a group of friends that I wouldn't have had before. Some of you folks were in that room over at the Marriott. I made my first trip out here to talk about the product. Those folks are in that room. You're in a whole different world now, aren't you? Much better world. And you've helped a lot of people. And I have gained some great friends. We'll be getting more friends as time goes on. Thank you very much. We'll do some question answering after Sheila presents some more information.